I have recently seen a TikTok video that was going around regarding a famous psychological experiment in which a teacher gave her students a list of anagrams for them to figure out. Now, the list was 3 words and all the students thought they had the same 3 words. And what the teacher said was just focus on number 1, and when you're done with number 1, raise your hand. Now, unbeknownst to the students, there was actually 2 different lists. Some students, number 1 was just a 3-letter word, and they were able to do it very quickly, and they raised their hand. The other group of students had a word that was actually impossible to solve. And so they're looking around, seeing their peers all done with number 1, and they're like, okay. So the teacher goes, let's do number 2. Same thing happens. The group who had the impossible word, literally impossible, looking around and not understanding why their classmates got it so easily. Now, the 3rd word was actually the same on both lists, and it was a solvable word. The students who had previously solved the first 2, because they had the easy list, were able to solve that 3rd word. But the students who had the impossible first 2 were not able to solve the word. So the conclusion of that experiment, or the point of the experiment, was to talk about learned helplessness, that the students who had the impossible words basically gave up or figured they weren't able to do it. Another very important concept of this study that I haven't seen talked about is the concept of behavioral momentum. And what that is when we start with high probability tasks and then we can actually elicit lower probability tasks. So the high probability tasks for the students who had the easy words were the 3-letter word, and then they go to a 5-letter word, and then they went to a longer word. So basically, that behavior of solving the anagram persisted even in the challenge of a longer, harder word, because they had previously been reinforced from the 2 easier words. They got the behavioral momentum, and that is something we can use very often in our teaching. Start with high probability tasks, get your students reinforced, get them feeling good about themselves, and then that behavior comes resistant to things like distractions or more difficult tasks.